Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I am back with a replay that, again, this kind of takes me a little bit out of my comfort zone, not because not because it's what's the word I'm looking for, a mirror matchup, but more of because it's a mirror matchup with my own race. We're talking about ZVZ, and I really don't feel too comfortable really casting it because if I know how long the game is going to last, then that basically gives it away, but without further delay, I guess we can go ahead and get through with this replay. It looks like it wasn't actually done on the ladder. No, in fact, it was taken from the ESV map pool, and I'm not entirely sure what the ESV map pool stands for or what ESV stands for. If someone could post that on this cast as a comment, that would be great. This is Breaker, and in the lower right hand corner, I'm going to go ahead and give you an introduction to Lambo, who is presently without a clan tag. And in the upper left hand corner are Zerg in the red trunks, soulbrother. And actually, as I was looking at this on the front page of Drop.sc, I was actually a little reluctant to cast. Well, not really reluctant to cast this, but the only thing I saw was that it was ZVZ. I don't know how long it lasts, so that's actually going to give us a little bit more surprise, guys. Looking at this natural, this is, wow, super, super wide open. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It looks like somebody died down here. Yeah, and like someone else is living in here. That little cave. Alright. Natural, again, rather exposed. This third, holy hell, exposed. This fourth, it looks like if this was... I don't know, if this was... I don't know how you could play on this map without feeling completely naked, guys. I mean, just look at this for crying out loud. At any rate, we do have the Overlords kind of just swinging by each other, passing by. Not really being Overlords and giving each other hugs, but, just doing what Overlords do best, and that would be scouting. The main deviation that we have between both of our players right now is that we actually have links coming from our Zerg already, who looks like he went for a straight-up 12 pool. This might help with delaying his opponent's... You know what? No, I think it was a 9 pool, in retrospect. But it looks like he's going to try and go ahead and delay the natural of soulbrother. Excuse me, I didn't hit that key at all. The Lings will arrive there in a matter of seconds. He does get his own gas not too long after that of Lambo. So if he can hold this, he might be okay, but again, the chances of that, I just don't know, because he doesn't have production coming from the second hatchery yet. He doesn't have it whatsoever. So what he's going to do is he's going to respond by building a spine crawler. Again, one of these players is GM, something I forgot to mention. And it looks like a few drones have been pulled to help take care of this problem, but it looks like a few Zerglings will be able to slowly but surely get the prevent on this hatch. It got canceled at the last second because, of course, Lambo is just being super persistent. This kind of reminds me just a little bit of the game between July Zerg and Sen at last year's Battle.net World Championships in Shanghai. I mean, it was crazy. If it wasn't July Zerg, it was definitely Leenock. It was someone, I'm trying to remember, it was the first game that Sen played of the day. He got faced up against, no, it was the second game of the day. Man, look at that physics, just blowing that Ling away like it was nothing. But for now, we're going to have Lambo in a position where he can contain soulbrother, who I don't think has gone for metabolic boost. No, he hasn't even started on that. And the huge deviation is going to come into play here because Lambo himself will have metabolic boost before soulbrother does. He'll be able to, I guess, like what we could see soulbrother do is get some banelings out to defend, keep him from really making any run-bys into the mineral line, and he's going to have to let the queens do the rest of the work from there. Like, we're talking sniping things that are running by to and fro. And it's, I think, going to be a little bit crazy. We do have one baneling on the way now for Lambo. Excuse me, for soulbrother. And it looks like, oh man, those things were on hold position, which is going to be just a little bit dirty for Lambo in that engagement. Lambo looks like he's got to pull back. He doesn't know about that baneling yet, so this is going to, it's just a purely defensive baneling. It could be moved over here for better defense, but yeah. With that, we see Soul Brother basically pulling back. His own metabolic boost is now going to finish about just under a minute before his opponent, or after his opponent's did. And now we have Lambo pushing back in full force. If Soul Brother is able to hold off against this assault, then it's going to be a total miracle and nothing short of the term. Of course, Soul Brother can see that Lambo is going to have all these speedlings coming over here. Now he's morphing banelings. That's really important. Oh, but that baneling, it's going to act as a linebacker or a front man, if you will, tackler. And at the same time, we see Soul Brother willing to sacrifice a queen just to keep that one baneling and thus his economy alive. But now he's got more banelings morphing, and they are not ready to go just yet. In fact, oh my god, the lings here are going to get us around, and I think Soul Brother's in a huge deal of trouble. One baneling does finish, so he's okay, but he's got to find more time to make banelings to match that of his opponents. He's been making nothing but ineffective engagements to this point in the game. Beautiful connection right there with those banelings. Excuse me, that one baneling from Soul Brother, as well as the spine crawler, just stabbing 3 or so other banelings, and that was just an absolutely beautiful, perfect hold. Could not have been made better, I think. Behind this, Lambo's going with a double evolution chamber follow-up. It could be Carapace and +1 melee attacks. I'm thinking it could be that. Most likely will be that because of the what's the word I'm looking for? Because of the, I don't know. This is just, it's something that's something that's trending right now, and we also don't have a Roach Warren yet for either player. Okay, so all these banelings are going to run at each other, and it looks like, oh no, Lambo just ate the bitter end of the stick with that one. He's morphing more banelings defensively, and all these banelings are perfectly spread, but they're still getting pretty good connections on those lings, and they do hit the mineral line. They take about 2 drones with them. Looks like they got a pause in the middle of the game. He says, GG. Okay. He says, let's try again. Go, you resume, please. Alright, so it looks like they encountered some lag in the middle of this game originally. Okay, so he was a little bit confused. And baneling's morphing back here. I do want to highlight that if we see Soul Brother just get a little too eager to put on some hurt, he could end up, getting the bitter end of the stick again. He had a huge opportunity to, just go in there with all those links, go straight to the main, but he didn't really take it. Now we do have these red lings and red banelings over here. The lings are going to have to tackle the blue lings over here to really, oh my god, hold their ground against the banelings. +1 Carapace is now on the way for Lambo. We don't have the same for Soul Brother. Once +1 Carapace finishes, all of the lings that we see from Soul Brother will be able to sustain all of the lings that come from Lambo will be able to sustain a full, a single baneling. They'll have 1 HP left over, certainly, but they will be able to sustain an entire baneling hit. The biggest problem, I think, right now is that Soul Brother just now becomes aware that his opponent is coming across the map with more banelings and zerglings. This could end up being pretty bad. Let's just see how this works out in terms of an engagement. The banelings almost trapped the lings off, keeping them from making the connections they needed to. But, oh man, if that baneling had made that connection. Spinecrawler 2 kind of finishing up, and we do have Lair Tech now on the way, actually finished for Soul Brother. He's following this up with his Spire, which is over here at the natural. And Soul Brother's going to try and chase down a couple of banelings. He does fail at that, not too terribly miserably, and I like the defenses we have coming from both players. The biggest difference, however, is that Lambo already has his third. It looks like we have Soul Brother going for his right now as well. And the baneling's not making desirable connections, but that's because Soul Brother's trying to put on some hurt. He does see that the third here is on the way for Lambo. Okay, so the biggest difference that we're going to see is that Soul Brother's going to have a lot of mutas a lot sooner than Lambo. And this game, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Snoot versus Nestea is what I think. I don't know why. Snoot desired going for a lair, a third a little bit later, but hold that thought. We do have a bit of a huge engagement here, and it looks like those banelings. Oh my god, the blue banelings just the engagements were absolutely sick. They got almost no worker kills, basically no worker kills actually, as that was one Baneling that ran into the mineral line with the detonation range. Oh, those Banelings gotta be so careful. And at this stage, they're basically trying to trip each other up. Turn around, bro! Turn around! Oh my god, some mutas are now in the mix, and it looks like we have a small... Okay, we have a small contingent of mutas over here, trying to deal out damage on the third. Again, the third here is getting fully surrounded by soulbrother, or excuse me, by Lambo, and it will be forced to essentially cancel or die. There we go. Behind this, we have an infestation pit going down for soulbrother, so it looks like we know what he's trying to commit to, and I think his third is going to fall before that spore crawler gets a chance to bro, but even if it does get fully broed and in position, ooh, it doesn't matter. The third does fall behind it. Okay, so looks like soulbrother's trying to do what other damage he can to follow this up with. That means killing overlords, restoring map control for himself and himself only, and he's going to get his third up just a little bit sooner. One Baneling sitting here because soulbrother is actually a little bit oblivious to the fact that his opponent has +1 carapace. And behind this, you know, there's no Spire for Lambo presently. He's just going to go for straight up Infestors. I think I just noticed something, and that would be that this could be Wings of Liberty and Wings of Liberty only. I don't know what makes me say that. At any rate, we'll have to see where this game goes with what's in research. And these two queens are going to fall. At least one of them will. That was a bit of tech that we just saw disappear. Was that the Roach Warren? Or the Baneling Nest, I'm wondering. At any rate, no, it wasn't the Baneling Nest. Evolution Chamber? I think it was the Evolution Chamber. Oh boy, in this engagement here at the third, it's going to put Lambo really far behind. It's going to cost him a good deal of links. The queens, the drones get pulled, and now we actually see soulbrother slightly ahead of Lambo. Infestors now out on the map. Okay, the one thing that will signal to us whether or not this is, again, Wings of Liberty is basically how the Infestors engage on these mutas. The muta is focusing down that spore crawler. 3 shots on a muta, so actually this is, I believe, not Wings of Liberty. It's just the music, guys. It trips me up. And the units that we see in production, oh man. So here we go. Lambo stuck at home, stuck at 76 supply. Queen's pushing back. 1 fungal growth does hit the mutas. And I think the lump of mutas that we see from soulbrother right now is essentially just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just transitional. Like, he's not going to overcommit to any more mutas. We can see that there are no more in production. And behind this, he's going for his +1/+1 and Hive Tech at the same time. But it seems that we have the same coming from soulbrother. Excuse me, we have the same coming from Lambo here in the main. Infestors arrived to the party, but not really in a jiff. So the mutant ball did get away. Not enough stacked fungal growths. Lambo coming down to the third. Excuse me, soulbrother coming down to the third. Lambo forced to take his third again. No creep spread here, so this actually will not help Lambo all that much. He's gonna try and put that spine crawler down there. The Banelings, however, are gonna connect with some Infestors. It looks like 1 or 2 of them did fall, perhaps. Wait, and they're just gonna chase them down. Oh man! Oh wait, but wow, okay, this is actually clever thinking by Lambo. He's like, wait a minute, 2 or 3 Banelings won't kill my Infestors. So what does he do about it? He just splits them up a little bit more. Okay, and the Lings are trying to chase them down and finish them off, but again, Infested Terran Beach Ball's coming down to fix that. I don't know if it's going to work out or not. Mutas are caught up in a bunch of fungal growths and spore crawlers, so that means a lot of damage is being done to them. Meanwhile, it looks like Lambo actually managed to snipe the third of soulbrother. And 1 Baneling did connect with them, but it's just hard to say who's ahead in this right now. We do have more supply, of course, for soulbrother, but what is that all tied up in? Drones? Really? Let's go back to production. We do have the third back in the makes for our Red Zerg and soulbrother. Looks like he does have a lower army supply. He does. But here's why. Here's the kicker. He's trying to get some ultras out. And Ultras will basically be, I think, indestructible versus Infestors. I mean, at least with what we have now in terms of Infestors. It looks like we've got 4 on the way. Fungal Growths will not be able to glue any of those Ultras down. And Lings are being pulled over here to the third to defend versus Ling run-bys from Lambo. Looks like we've got a bunch of drones just, again, doing the Congo line to get here. And we're going to have Soul Brothers third finishing up just slightly before that of Lambo's, I want to say. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the production tab. That was a huge mistake by me. We have a bunch of Lings morphing into Banelings over here, some of them. And, of course, another run by at the third. Fungal Growths combined with this huge hump of Lings would actually help Lambo out a lot in this engagement. But, of course, the rocks here also contributing to a bit of a choke. Banelings coming forward position, both players going for Adrenal Glands. Soul Brothers going to be faster on just about everything that you can imagine. And the Banelings are going to detonate right here. Not quite make the connections they need. But, of course, I think this is actually going to favor Soul Brother again. We do have Ultras in the mix. They are at +2/+2. No Kite Disarmor just yet. But of course, they are able to do so much splash damage. 12 kills on this one Ultra already. 15. And that is just absolutely sick right there. I mean, look at what we see coming from Soul Brother. I mean, who would have known that weak Ultras versus Lings actually do this much damage? I never would have guessed. Again, +3 is now coming down for Soul Brother, so actually before Lambo, so it actually seems, he says lull this lag. I think he's willing to just say GG. This is, he's like, sad face, basically. Super sad face. And I mean, I guess that's what all the economy of Soul Brother went to, is when it just went straight into tech ups. Ah, man. You got the earlier mutas, you got the earlier everything, really. And the natural will fall, he says, it would be fair just to make a regame. I bet I would come to finals, never would lose to Gosu user. I never lost to Gosu user, never mind. He says he was defeated. Soul Brother was victorious, and Lambo has left the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Breaker. I'll see you guys next time. Alright?